Hey there and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. If you're new, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and if you're a returning subscriber, if you haven't already, hit that little bell down below for notifications on when I put up new videos. I upload twice a week. Alright, so as I am currently filming this, it is February 2nd, and for me, at least this time of year, I'm always thinking about that one specific holiday, and that's Valentine's Day. I like this holiday regardless of having a partner or not. Believe it or not, even though I was in a relationship for 7 years, I spent a lot of Valentine's Days alone and single, and so I kind of wanted to touch base on like how you can show yourself self-love on Valentine's Day, since this day is going to be hard for a lot of people, whether you're coupled up or not coupled up. There's going to be some distance, and distance is a little stressful and a little sad when you want to be around loved ones. I'm just going to extend the things that I have done to kind of make Valentine's Day a fun day that doesn't have to be about a relationship or, you know, a couple. How you can make the most of Valentine's Day no matter what situation you're in. So why don't we grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get started. Alright, so as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, for some reason you have been living under a rock. I am now single. This will be my first Valentine's Day completely single in 7 years, and as I already mentioned, even though that's going to be a big, strange, different thing for me, I also know that I've spent a lot of Valentine's Day without a partner. So I've gotten really good at making this day feel a lot more like a self-love day, aside from it just being about like having a partner, because believe it or not, I feel like Valentine's Day can mean so many different things. Alright, so the first thing that I like to do on Valentine's Day to kind of like make it a little bit more special for me is I like to get dressed up. Much like I am today, even though it is currently not Valentine's Day, I like to make sure that I'm getting dressed up on the day, whether, you know, we're not in a pandemic and I can go out somewhere and look really cute on my own, or just staying inside, just feeling good in what I'm wearing, in the way my hair is done, and the way my makeup is done. It just makes me feel like so much better about myself, automatically lifts my spirits, because when I put myself together, i.e. right now, I just feel like completely untouchable. What I foresee my Valentine's Day being is like cooking a meal that I really love, or like even cooking oh my gosh, I just got this amazing idea. Cooking a meal that I've been wanting to cook for a really long time. Maybe getting some wine for myself, saving a movie that I've been really wanting to save, and making a date of it. Having that be like the thing that I do for myself that is really, really nice and comforting and feels really good. And honestly, I've kind of realized in like the last couple of months, like I actually really, really enjoy my evenings alone. I love being a host, but also I've like really started to cherish my like evenings for myself, like being able to cook, being able to watch whatever I want to watch, and really unwind and do all of those good things. Nights are just like those things that I cherish for myself, but elevating it, making sure that I'm like just whining and dining myself, because I feel like that's so important, and that's going to also help me realize that like relationship or not, like it is also okay to wine and dine who I am and myself, and like have that little like one-on-one date with myself, which I know can seem a little bit silly when you think about it, but I honestly just want us to like completely like reconsider like what it is to be single, or be like somebody who doesn't have a relationship, or maybe doesn't even have access to their partner right now. Like being by yourself and treating yourself to something is like just as important as, you know, having someone to share that with. Alright, so the next thing that I like doing on Valentine's Day, and this kind of falls into that category of treating myself, but I like to make sure that I am buying myself a little something. You know, there's been some flowers and stuff that I've seen out there, plants that I really want, and I'm like, why don't I just get it for myself? Why don't I treat myself to something nice? Maybe just like to have it delivered to myself for Valentine's Day. Just having that like gift from past Sarah seems like so nice, and seems like that like extra kick of that self-love that I need to start giving to myself. So much of the time I'm always just like, I want someone to buy something for, I want something to do something for, and that still makes me so happy and makes me feel so good. But at the same time, like, there's nothing wrong with doing that for yourself and extending that same, you know, kindness and compassion towards yourself and treating yourself to something, especially if it's something you've really been wanting for a while. And I think that there's something like really romantic and really cute about like you as your past self sending your future self like a little like reward for just like, you know, getting through it and being able to like keep high spirits, because I definitely feel like that is something I'm gonna do on the day, so I have something to look forward to. Next up is I think my favorite one, and I am so sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but I am a 33-year-old woman. These things happen. Masturbate. Just masturbate. Get a fancy sex toy. Do whatever it is. But like, honestly, masturbation just relieves all stress. It feels real good. Get out that fancy sex toy. Do what you gotta do. Just like unwind in bed. I don't think I need to explain it any further. I'm just gonna say, I just got a brand new sex toy that is like an oral simulator. And when I tell you I feel so it was good, just believe me when I say it was so good, and it's going to make Valentine's Day feel like so much better. Another thing that I think is super important to focus on, and maybe I can use different wording, but the first thing that comes to my head when I think Valentine's Day is also Galentine's Day, and we can extend that to Palentine's Day. You know, it doesn't have to just be like a female focused thing, but lean on your friends. I know so many people who don't have access to their partners, you know, they're not in their bubbles, they're long distance, whatever that is. Galentine's Day or Palentine's Day is a great opportunity to lean into your friendships and just like appreciate your friends. And I think it's super important to also be like appreciating those friendships, those partnerships, just as much as you would, you know, a romantic partner this time of year. And that oftentimes makes me feel just as rejuvenated and just as happy as maybe like having a partner this time of year. And it makes me just feel like super like, you know, warm and fuzzy on the inside. It's just one of those things that I feel like we can so often forget about, and or even overlook if we're kind of like in our heads about maybe this time of year feeling like a, you know, a little bit sad and lonely, which is totally fair, but it's also nice to know that we have like friendships and supports to like lift us up. All right, so the next one is planning something, which I know is like a little bit tough to do. In Toronto, we are completely locked down again. To me, this is not going to mean going anywhere aside from like a walk during the day to just get some fresh air. But I know already how I want to be spending my Valentine's Day. As I already mentioned, I'm going to be making myself a fancy dinner, but I also know that I want to lean real heavy into self-care that night. So that's going to mean running a really hot bath. I'm probably going to go out and buy some like real luxury bubble bath and like Epsom salts and maybe like that sort of stuff. I've already placed a big order for candles as well, so I'm gonna set the mood and just make it feel like really cozy. Just make sure I'm like really leaning heavily into self-care, or put together some sort of playlist just so I have something to really lean into that like comfort of like being alone, having my own space, and also just like relearning what it is to like treat myself just as much as I would somebody else. All right, well, I think that's essentially it, and I just kind of want to wrap this up by saying, and you know, I understand this is my first year being out of relationship. I haven't been single for very long, so completely take what I say with a grain of salt, but this is just sort of my like, you know, new epiphany mindset and sort of like where I've been at the last little while. But I just want to remind you and remind myself that like relationships aren't everything. I think so many of us, I mean, I'm just going to speak for myself actually. I think for me, I can get so focused on the relationship part of life because we're often raised to believe that that is what you do. You get a job, you find a partner, you settle down, you have kids and all that good stuff. And while that is still super important to me, it's also really important to know that I'm taking care of myself. I'm learning to be comfortable with who I am. I'm learning to get comfortable with my own company, and I'm also treating myself just as nice as I'm treating other people in my life. There's no problem, there's no shame at all with like treating yourself to something nice, being nice to yourself, taking yourself on dates, whatever that looks like. And I think that that's something that I'm gonna try and lean into real heavy this year. I mean, actually this whole year I kind of want to really be taking a step back from dating and making sure that I'm just like really focusing on myself and taking care of myself, and you know, just learning to love who I am a little bit more. That never hurts. And for those of you who are with partners and you can't get to them this time of year, my heart really does go out to you. Even though I'm not with my ex right now, we're still best friends, and it's still going to be hard, like in a lot of ways, not to be with him this year. But thankfully we live in an era with FaceTime and delivery services and all that good stuff that can make us feel a little bit more close and connected to whomever we want to feel connected to. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video though, but before I do that, let me know how you're going to be spending your Valentine's Day, things that maybe you've done to cheer yourself up on holidays such as these, if you're partnered, if you're not partnered, and you know, just let me know what you're gonna do. It doesn't hurt to share with the community. I will see you guys next time though, so don't forget you can find new videos from me every Wednesday and every Sunday, and new blog posts every Tuesday and every Thursday. And I'll see you next time. Bye!
why I should ever let you go. I don't wanna wake up if I'm dreaming, because you know I can't